Howdy folks, welcome back to Street Rust. We are back on the 68 Ford XL. We've got all of our parts in that we ordered. Still got a couple local parts to buy. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the goal of today's video is we want to get this running so I can burn off those old tires. That's the goal. I want to smoke, well, at least one side. It's a Pirate. It's an open differential. I just want to smoke it. And then we got it running good. I'm gonna put it up for sale and let you or somebody else on Facebook Marketplace take it to the next level. My job is to rescue it, and that's what I've done. Not entirely yet. So we're gonna get that carb off, that 4300. Let me show you the parts we got, and then we'll come back out here and get set up. I've been working, put a video out on the universal heater I installed in the Chrysler. You guys saw that come out earlier this week. So here we go. We'll talk about the carb last. Oil filter. We got our gaskets for the front timing cover. I went in and bought some locks because they're cheap. They didn't have a trunk lock. I'm guessing it's different. It's different, obviously. Vacuum line. We got 5/32 and 1/4 inch, $8.99 for 10 feet. We've got new timing set, not double, just a regular, but it is close, and it's all metal. We got the PCV. We've got new ignition, condenser, and points, and then comes the carb. Actually, I'm fairly impressed, at least from the looks and the concept so far. Even the needles here were turned 1.5 turns out. It's a 4-barrel. And it's a square body. You see everything This is where our problem is with the one out there, that 4300, is these 4 barrels. Because the engine, I can rev it up, then it just runs flat because those aren't opening in the back. Now this also comes with a lot of cool stuff. You got gaskets. Those are super cool. Not, but what impressed me is it comes with different size jets in there. Of course, then you got your pole for your breather. This looks just like an Elderbrock. You got your metering rods. It's basically, intellectual thievery, whatever you want to call it. You got the wiring set up. It is electric choke. Won't be hooking that up today. There's another fuel filter in there. There's studs in there. Looks pretty good. So hey, let me get everything set up, get the tools all together, and we'll be right back. See if y'all can see that. I'll get you up a little closer. It does. Oh, I see. It's off the back right there. We can get that cleaned up. Anyway, nonetheless, ain't nothing wrong with that gasket. That was new, just been sitting on there since this thing was rebuilt, but there ain't nothing. Now I'm leaking gas, creating a fire hazard. Yeah, those back ones are. When I rebuilt this, I had spent a lot of time getting those loosened up, and they're froze up again. So you see how clean that looks on the bottom, folks. Hopefully y'all can see that. But that's locked up tighter than Fort Knox. It ain't going nowhere. All right, folks. Had some mowing going on in the area, and it was a little too loud, and so I went ahead and I got the carb on. Fuel line, if you remember on that 4300, we had just a little piece of fuel line that hooked up to it. Obviously, I didn't even cut that. I just ran it in there. Got it bolted down. Obviously, gonna have to have a throttle linkage kit, but I'll wire tie it for now if I need to. Here, let me get y'all in here. So I took the fan blade off. because I wanted to crank the engine over to check the distributor. There's about a 1/4 inch play at the crank. So it's either the timing chain slack or the distributor gear is kind of boogered. But nonetheless, got all this tightened up, so at least the alternator is exciting the battery while we're running. Took some time to do that. I do have the power steering pump part figured out too. I actually saw another dude on an old Mercury. Wherever my piece went. Now I don't know where my doggone piece went. So anyway, where to go? It's a little square plate that bolts on right here. Doggone, what to do with it? Well, nonetheless, I'll show that to you later. It's laying around here somewhere like everything else. So, all right, I'm gonna put you back on the stand. I've been charging the battery for a little bit as well, just to make sure we got enough juice. I'm gonna hook up the battery. You know what? It either crank or it won't. So it's kind of where I'm at right now with this thing. It'll crank or it won't. I'm fairly confident it's going to. Got to get my master ignition key. Get the ignition turned on. Oh. All right. Tell you what, I'm just going to give her a little juice here. A little juice here. There ain't much left in there. Well. All right. See if we can get it to pop over. See if we can get her to pop over. Yep. Get some fuel up in there. Oh, you know what? Is that fuel filter making that god-awful sound? Let's take a look. That may be my problem. Is that the problem? That may be my whole fuel issue. I need to find out where that is. That may be my whole fuel issue. Right? Right. Come on, baby, you can do it. Okay. Wow. I still hear some clickety-click down in here. Don't like that. Man, I'm digging that, folks. Needs still sluggish. Okay, I'm gonna shut her off, and I'm pretty doggone sure there's we got a leak in here somewhere. I don't know what kind of hose that is. Anyway, we might be okay. I think the fuel pump's doing fine. I think there's a leak somewhere in here. When I say leak, woo! Burn some stuff off there. All right. I mean, come on now. That's better than we've ever seen it run. All right, let's disconnect the battery and see what happens. See if the alternator's working. That's the negative pose. That would be a big no. Oh, there's that sound again. I don't know what that is. Doggone it. We'll get it figured out though. Tell you what, let me find this part to the power steering, and I'll kind of show you what's going on there. All right, here it is right here. So this piece right here, you notice there's 2 bolts missing here, and one of those is offset. There we go. So that's going to bolt right there like that. Then that means from here to here is going to be a long screw that goes through here. And then your adjustment would be this right here. So hey, really, I've got miscellaneous bolts, but the worst case scenario, we're going to have to buy a couple bolts. Looks like there's this rubber, I don't know if that's rubber or not there, but anyway, and we'll see if that power steering pump works. If it doesn't, we'll just buy a new one because we're made of money. So kind of sounds like pole barn garage, huh? So let me move some vehicles around because my wife says dinner's ready, and doggone it, I can't eat until I get this in the garage, and I'm hungry. So let's see what we got. All right, folks, my dog's hurt, but you know what? I need to get this water pump off because I need to go match it tomorrow so we can get everything back together tomorrow. That's the plan. There we go. There you go, folks. All right. There she blows. Definitely time for a new water pump. But I want to take that with me so that I can match everything up correctly. All right. And don't need that. I'll take that off later. All right. So let me show you where we're at. And then I've got to get, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'll let y'all keep watching, but I'll probably speed it up. So I'm going to, there's my little mark I put there. I'm going to clean that up really well when I take it off and mark it in white. That silver paint didn't work real well. So basically we're going to take the fuel pump off. We'll take off this pulley. We'll take off the harmonic balancer. There's a couple bolts in the 2 on each side we'll have to take off. And then all the bolts around the timing cover. And you know what? That ain't good right there, folks. Oh, that's no bueno. I'm going to have to really dig into that. That may take some tapping. Look at there. That's the water outlet right there. That ain't good. Why did I take it apart? Doggone it. You know why? Because we're gonna make it right. All right. Let me get everything set up here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that pulley off. And then when I start on the harmonic balancer, I try to get you guys in there to see that. All right, folks, I lied to you. I took off the harmonic balancer. It's right here. No big to do. It came off pretty dang easy. You can buy these pullers, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Harbor Freight, or you can go spend $200 and buy a Snap-on or Mac Tool or Matco or something like that, whatever you want to do. All right, so this timing cover underneath here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I went ahead and took those out from underneath. Okay, those were 1/2 inch, I believe. Yeah, 1/2 inch. I went ahead and disconnected the fuel line and plugged it right there and disconnected this part of the fuel line, which was finger tight. And these are 9/16, these are 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go ahead and bust all these off. The only thing that I don't know, I mean, I know this is this down here. All right, camera shut off. Woodruff key. I know that's the Woodruff key, and this is actually a sleeve on here, so I got to figure that part out. So I'm going to go ahead and put you back on the stand and look at it split. Probably going to speed it up. We're going to get the rest of this off here pretty dang quick. Alrighty, folks, the sleeve does come off. The Woodruff key was in the way. We'll set this over the rest of the part. Of course, the Woodruff key fell down. Look at all that nastiness. That was in the radiator. And there's the Woodruff key right there because I dug it out with the magnet. So now, if I can get this off with one hand, we'll do that. If not, this just doggone. Just plain nice. Yeah. Come on now. There we go. I'm gonna lay this nasty bird on the, I'll sit it on the ground. All right. Now, I'm gonna have to put the bolt back in to see if it's in time, and I'll check all that. But you can tell, I don't know. Is that gonna make the noise I've been hearing? So we'll be replacing all this. That's some good looking oil down there. That's as far as we're gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the, I'll pull that off later. Replace that. We'll do the ignition. We'll see. I don't like that. That's sloppy, but it is real tight over here. So I've seen worse, I've seen better. And I would speculate that this is not the original one. I think the original one had that poly teeth with the magnesium insert. And yeah, that's a little scuffed up, but it doesn't look bad. That's a fuel pump eccentric. That pumps the fuel pump lever. It's off center. So, I think that's all we're going to do. We'll get this cleaned up. I'm going to have to go buy the water pump. So, we'll, yeah, I'm a mess. It's late. I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. I'm going to get in bed. I'll go source that water pump tomorrow. It's here locally. There's a couple different versions. Want to make sure I get the right kind. So we'll get those parts and we'll get back in here tomorrow and put this thing back together and see what's making it run so horrible still. Okay? And maybe get the bore scope in the cylinders. All right, folks, let me give you a little update here. The garage, I cleaned it up a little bit, still somewhat of a mess. Got a great Clint Eastwood movie going on over there. Anyway, I'll kind of go through what I've prepped. I wanted to show you this before I tore it down. I'm not gonna, I mean, this is pretty basic. You got an oil slinger on there. We'll take that off and throw it on the table. So basically, we'll unbolt the fuel pump eccentric and I'll get you guys, I'll put you on the camera and we'll do this real quick. But here's what I wanted to point out. Here, you can see that in the timing, there's your dot. What we're looking for, here's the replacement. And right here, you'll see numbers here. That's if you want to advance it, but we're not gonna do that. So basically, when it's at top dead center on number 1, compression stroke, those dots should line up. Notice where this keyway slot is. So even though I don't see a dot, and I don't see how it could wear off the front, and I've never seen it wear off the front, I don't see a dot there. Maybe when I get it off, I'll see it better. But I've got the number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got the number 1 top dead center. Distributor's point where it needs to be. Stuck a screwdriver in there. It's topped out on the compression stoke because I put my thumb in it and air came out. Anyway, so we look good there. What else we got going on? So I can't remember if you guys, what we did last, I ripped out the condenser and the radiator so I could get to everything down there. Radiator looks like crap. We're gonna put it back in because that's crap with a K, okay? The condenser will not be going back in. That'll give us more air. Timing cover. I had to paint it, folks. I cleaned it up, got it cleaned up, painted it. We'll let that cure overnight. New water pump. Picked this up at O'Reilly's today. This one matches. What I was really worried about was getting this out, and I did the old PB blaster. You can see where I've burnt the silicone, burn it, and it came out amazingly easy. So we're gonna let all this paint cure overnight before we get too rough with it. And I'll be taking all these bolts down. I did tap the these holes in the bottom here where it goes into the oil pan. I tapped those out. I'll be cleaning up all these bolts and accessories and everything. I'll probably run some emery cloth or steel wool over the shaft. I don't see any pitted areas or you know, lines where something would be going crazy. What else? Can't think of anything else. So let's get that off real quick. What's that look like? 9/16 or 5/8? I'm gonna guess 9/16. Yeah, you can clearly see I'm checking first of all, dang it, I keep kicking the camera. The back side is beveled there. That's the side that goes into the engine. There is not a, well, no, there's no dot there, folks. But anyway, it lines up with the keyway. All right, so what I'm gonna finish up tonight so we can get rocking tomorrow, I gotta get this pin out of the sprocket. That should be fun. But not messing with any of this right here. Oh, I meant to see, where's that bolt? I can't really see. Oh, hit the camera again. Gotta get it out of the way there. I don't see any red Loctite, but I felt it. So they got something on there. We'll clean that up and get some red Loctite on that when we put it back in. I need to figure out what the torque spec is anyway. Just curious now. If I put this back in, wonder if we got any end play on the cam. I don't feel anything. So, okay. I'll get you guys a good shot down in here so you see exactly what we're talking about. Oh, I want to talk about one more thing. Matter of fact, let me take my fluorescent green gloves off. All right. Before I talk about the last thing I want to talk about, I just wanted y'all to see. I mean, it's pretty dang basic. The sprocket can only go one way. It goes over this. That dot is going to be lined up. I'll get the new one on. It's not rocket science here, folks. Get that number one piston at top dead center. Then this dowel here is what's got to come out. It's got to go in here. But anyway, those two dots should line up perfectly. I don't see any problems. We'll get all this cleaned up. Got a new gasket and everything. All right, this water inlet right here. This is a water bypass. So let me show you. Okay, you see the old water pump there? That little hose hanging off the end right there? That's a bypass hose. It goes from the back of the water pump to the intake. Now it comes with a new nub on the new water pump, so we're okay on this end of it. But what about this end of it? Okay, that's only really maybe 3/4 of an inch, and this is what I dug out. You know, when you dig, you know what I did is just tapped in with a screwdriver right there. This is soft metal, and it loosened up, pulled it out. I cleaned up in there and all that kind of good stuff. So what I'll have to do here, and I've already marked, and I'm going to have to mock this up before I put everything in. I've got a line drawn here as far, that's going to have to be tapped in. Okay, I'll use a piece of wood on the end here, and I'll put some silicone on that. That's as far in as I want to go. And yes, I made this. It's 5/8. It actually came off the. We put in that universal heater in the Chrysler in the last video y'all saw, and this was one of the adapters, the connectors that was in that kit. Go try pricing one of those. Go try if you can find one. They're like 20 bucks. I read around. You just need some OD pipe that's, don't use brass. It needs to be 5/8 outside diameter. That's exactly what this is. And we'll silicone it and we'll tap it in there and everything will be fine. But what I need to do is make sure, I'll have to mock up when I get all this cleaned up, I'll go ahead and mock up the water pump and make sure that my distances are good so that I don't have this inlet. Let me show you. Just so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I may have it taped up. I may have already untaped it. Let's see. Oh, it's taped up right here. Let's see if I can untape that for Yuns. Nope, I taped it up pretty dang good. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. Come on now. There you go. Alrighty, folks, we're back. Let me give you an update. So I drained the oil, as cruddy as it was, put on the new oil filter. Haven't put in the new oil. I got some Rotello T4 that's got the zinc in it. I did get 15W40 because they didn't have any 10W30 at Walmart, and I didn't feel like going to another store. And I'm not going to be running this in the dead of winter, so we'll be okay with 1540. Got the pin out of the cam. The easiest one I've ever done, just for the record. Something went good. What else have we done? Okay, so gasket kit. Here's the water pump. I got the, I don't want to flip that over. I'll show it to you when I put it on. This is the heater inlet. Got that out of the old one. Actually, came out fairly easy. PB blaster and heat, and it came out fairly easy. All new gaskets. Here's the gasket, Felpro TCS 13075-1. So all the gaskets look pretty good. This one right here, I'm going to have to trim it just a hair. See how it's, I'll never get that bolt in there. So I'm gonna trim it just a hair, like a 1/16 of an inch on each side to pull that in. Let's see, what else did we get done? Oh, let's go back to the water pump. So these water pump bolts, number one, you see this RTV on here? There's a reason for that. Some of these holes in the block, like I had this one plugged up right now, because when I was moving the car, you know, bouncing it around to get the oil out, water started coming out of there. Some of these bolts were in pretty rough shape, and this is probably the biggest bolt investment I made right here, because these are the flange bolts. I think they're, I can't remember what, 5/16 by 16 or something like that. Anyway, new bolts for that. All the other bolts associated with getting this in, I take down to my wire wheel and my grinder and clean them up. All these go to the timing cover. These go to the bottom of the timing cover. Got the spark plugs cleaned up. Got this sleeve, the oil slinger, the fuel pump eccentric. Got all that cleaned up. So what I'm going to do real quick is get you guys set up, and we're going to put on this timing chain together. Okay? Be right back. All right, here we go. Assembly lube. What do I got here? Comp cams. I've got some Lucas. Whatever your choice is. You know, you like cherry, use red. If you like lime, use green. You know. What I do like to lube things up a little bit, and you'll see when I put this when I put this timing chain on, I'll lube the chain up with that and everything like that. Just get some on those contact points. Wasn't too bad. Let me, before I put that fuel pump eccentric on, I'll get you guys in here. The spec was like 35 to 45 foot-pounds for the cam bolt. So, very, very important that, okay, Ford big block, keyway is top dead center. You got top dead center here. We're not advancing anything. We don't have a cam in here. And then this, and you know what? It looks to be, there's no way that little bit, this is just barely to the left, but there's no way that that could shift the whole tooth, plus timing to take care of that. So we'll get the, let me grab this fuel pump eccentric. Oh, want to also make sure that we get this set back into the cam. I'll rubber tap that in as well. I'll have to check into that. I don't want to beat that too hard. It's a little flange on the end. Somebody's been into this before. But I will make sure I get that tapped in. Then we'll get this on, which goes over that. But it needs to go into the slot in the back of the cam. It'll need to be sticking out about 1/4 of an inch. So here's what I'll do. I'll get that rocking. I'm going to go ahead and get everything gooped up, and then we'll come back and do the timing cover, which is right here. So once again, be back in a second. Okay, we're back. First of all, torque this down to 40 foot-pounds. It was 35 to 45. I've got some assembly lube all over that chain, and I did use a little Loctite red on that when I torqued it down. And I've got everything gooped up. I got the seals on. I've got a little bit in the corner down there where the oil pan meets the engine block, and I've got all these bolts. I just use the RTV I'm using. Okay, it's always served me well. I know there's multiple camps out there, what you should use, things of that nature, but that's what I did. So if you got a suggestion, just throw it in the comments. I would appreciate it. All right, we've got the new front main seal in here as well, folks. You can see right where my hand is right here. Okay. All right. So let's get this on. Okay, got all the bolts in. So just like on a Windsor, a 302, 351, you put the bottom ones in first. That sucks it down so you can line up those bolts. I still have them loose because I want to put this on, folks. This is the sleeve that's got to go. And I've got that gooped up with this assembly lube. I'm going to do the same thing on here. I may have to tap this in a little bit, but it should go pretty smooth. Should go pretty smooth. There we go. The more the merrier on that. And it does, oh, where's my keyway? I need my keyway. Where's my keyway? Of course, it's on the bottom, so that's going to be stupendous. So the little keyway goes, I know y'all can't see it, but I can. And it's not tapered or no, it's just a standard keyway. Standard keyway. So should have no problem going on. Should have no problem going on, folks. No problem whatsoever. Get that keyway. Yeah, see, as long as the keyway go in there. Keyway is that little thingamajig right there. And you know what? That thing. Oh, you know what? This is the keyway for the, that's the keyway for the harmonic balancer. The keyway here is what goes in here. That's why it wouldn't fit. Now, 20 years ago, looky there, it just slid right in. 20 years ago, I would have got a hammer, beat the crap out of it, and then realized what I'd done. So the keyway that's up near the timing chain on the main crank, that's what that one slides over. It's nice and lubed up in that new front seal. Everything's good there. So let's just go ahead and cinch down all these, not all these. All right. I know this is exciting, but this is the, you know, how do you say it? This is the stuff that happens. Maybe it's sometimes behind the scenes, but you know, you don't rebuild a car, and we're not even rebuilding. We're just getting this thing where it's kind of street worthy. I'm not cinching it down yet. I'm just getting everything bottomed out. You got 9/6 on the bottom 4. You got 1/2 inch on the top 4, and then the bottom 4 in the oil pan. Come on now. Someday I'm gonna have me one of them electric ratchets. And all right. That thing's going in pretty easy. I need a longer extension on that. Would be ideal. All right. We're getting there, folks. I'll probably fast forward through some of this in this video, but wrenching, this is what it's about. It doesn't happen magically. There's no little shoe elves. There's no timing chain elves that come in at night and do stuff for you. It just doesn't happen. All right, 1/2 inch. We'll let this set for a couple minutes. about 10-15 minutes, let that gasket material set up, and then I'll come in and crank on it. These are only about, I think, 20 foot-pound or something like that. We'll let it sit up for a couple of minutes, then I'll come in here and crank on it. All right, I'll let that sit up a little bit, then I'll crank it down. Boy, that's a purty timing cover. I didn't get enough paint on the top there. I wasn't very good there. Then we'll come back and do the water pump. And then we'll come back and do the fuel pump. So I'll get that stuff ready too. All righty, water pump. All these are cranked down about 20 foot-pounds, 20, 25, till my fingers pop. My wrist is about, that's about 35, that's about 40. Shoulders about 65 to 100. When things pop. Anyway, back to the water pump. So we've got to get the water pump on and simultaneously have that inlet hose, this bypass hose, go in right there. So let's just get it done. All right, I'll let that set for a couple minutes and then I'll do the same thing. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Get in a little closer. All right, so there's this this hose that goes. This is a bypass hose between the intake and the water pump. Did not check thermostat. Guy told me to put a new thermostat in it. Got no reason to disbelieve him other than the fact that this looks like crap. So who knows? We'll figure it out. This is the inlet we're putting in right here. This one and this one would go for your water hose circulation, which is all bypass. So I'm just going to put a little loop on there from here, whoop, down to there. What else? I'm going to go ahead and get the harmonic balancer back on. I'll go ahead and get the water. I'll get, not the water pump, the fuel pump down here. I'll go ahead and get it back on. I got it ready. Once again, I'll goop it and slap it on. It's not a big deal. We'll probably stop there for tonight. And I may do the points and condenser tonight. I need to get those. I got to figure out how hard it is going to be to get these exhaust manifolds off, because I've got some gaskets. I think I showed you guys those gaskets. Yeah, they're back here. All right. Then once you know what, the goal of this video, like I said, is burn off a rear tire. Let's just smoke the heck out of it. So that's what these are here. It's got the protection flange. This is the left side, so it's going to be like that. But got to get the other ones off first. So I'm gonna peel around a little more, but I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. All right, folks, we're back. I've been working on this thing all day. I just went ahead and got it all back together. So come on in here, videographer. Obviously the radiator's in, broke the cap. I had a spare cap laying on the shelf. I got it. Radiator's in, transmission lines are hooked back up. No fluid came out of there or out of the radiator. When I flushed it out and tipped it over, no transmission fluid came out. I did get some type F transmission fluid. Right now, cold, it shows on the dipstick, and it shows pretty fresh, but just in case I pick some up. All right, that's the ground. All right, alternator. All this was on before. I did get the spacer. For you Ford guys, you know what I'm talking about. That goes between the back of the alternator and the engine block. That's tight. Here's the power steering unit. I got it hooked up. I did fill it with fluid, and it's not leaking. we bypassed that power steering cooler. So anyway, this belt's on tight. This is the bracket that I needed, that I found with all the stuff. The problem was I needed a 7-inch bolt and another spacer, which I didn't have. So I used washers. I took this 8-inch bolt. I threaded it down with a die, another inch or so. I cut off 1.5 inches and it worked fine. What else have I done? Ooh, let's get in here. New points and here, just let me see that for a second. New points and condenser. I cleaned it up a little bit in there. Yeah. There we go. Sorry. Man, did I hit you in the head? Anyway, new points and condenser. Boy, that thing fits on there tight snug, don't it? Okay. Got the gap set at like 0.09. I think the range was 0.017 to 0.021. What else? I've got the spark plugs cleaned and their gaps were pretty close. There were no problems there. So basically, to get this thing started again, I need to put the oil in. And this video is not sponsored by Shell Rotella T4. It's sponsored by you, the viewer. Thank you all very much. And please click down below and subscribe. Am I forgetting anything, darling? The borescope. Oh, can I call the videographer darling? Are you going to tell my wife? Here, I told them we were going to look in the, we're going to use the borescope. And we are going to look in these cylinders. And you keep an eye on that. Here, test it in my nose. I'm kidding. Come on, darling. All right. So on the Ford engine, we'll look at the engine over here real quick, darling. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to start with number 5. I am going to go into number 5. And let's see if I can get that, folks. Look. I snuck a peek in here. That one's up high, so it's hard to see. Looks pretty dang clean. So let's get into 6. That's okay, you hold that. And there you go. 6 is up a little bit too, but looks pretty good in there. Oh, sorry, darling. Let's get into 7. Oh, shoot. Hang on a second. I gotta find 7. Oh, it's over here. All right, now, all right, I need to see what we're looking at here. Okay, that's a good shot. Look at those walls. I mean, I was amazed. I was astounded how clean these cylinder walls and cylinders were. Now we'll get into number 8. Okay, number 8, look at there. Look at that. I mean, come on. Could it be a much cleaner? It's pretty clean in there, isn't it?
Don't ask me.
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good job. All right. Come over here. I'm just going to peek into, well, we'll peek into all of them, just so you hold that there. All right. Going into number 1. There you go, once again. Clean, clean, clean. I don't know what that, I put so much stuff. What is that on the wall right there? Is that Japanese? What's that say? Yakisoba? What's that writing right there? Yakisoba? Or yakimandu? All right, that's 1. Here's number 2. Yep, same thing. I'm going to show them all to you so you can't say I was hiding one from you. That piston's all the way up. Can hardly get in there. Okay, that's good. And then number 4. Number 4. All right, let's see what we got. Look, great shot. Look how clean. Ooh, what's that white little piece of thing in there? That ain't good. But hopefully it'll burn up or disintegrate. Yeah, what is that? See that little white piece thing? I think that's where my broken tooth went. Yeah. That you knocked out last night. Probably. With the skillet. You know, husband abuse is a real thing, right? I know it's recording. I'm trying to levelize. Okay, levelize. All right, darling, darling and darlings. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to go ahead and get oil in it. and then we're gonna come back and I gotta get the plug wires back on. I'll do that. I wanted you to see the new points and distributor. I'll get all that set up. I also shortened up the fuel line hose here. And we're gonna crank her back up. Because remember, the goal of this video is to burn one of them back tires off. So be right back. All right. Got the distributor cap, plug wires on, plugs are in. Hey, I also forgot. I did change the doggone exhaust manifold gaskets. Was it a pain? You betcha. Did I break any bolts? No. It's the first time I can say I've never broken any bolts. Here's what the exhaust manifold gaskets. This was the passenger side. This is actually the one that was leaking in the front. And it's a little ate up, but so I did that. And hey, if you want to see broken exhaust manifold bolts, go look at the one I did on the 383, that back one. I had to pull the stinking head off, guys. It wasn't fun. All right, but then again, I discovered the engine was bored 30 over, so Merry Christmas. Vacuum lines, the main PCV back here at the carburetor, you can't see. I use a little trick I use sometimes where where it's split, I just cut it off and get back to fresh stuff. That worked. Got lots of vacuum line if I need it, but everything seems to be in order. So, also, there's no fuel in this fuel filter. I hope there's fuel in the fuel tank. Okay, I do hope. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the ignition. You know what that means, screwdriver. And I did clean up the ground as well. Whoops, yeah, there you go. Well, it's working. That's good news, right? All right, I'm going to try to do it just via the battery here. And see if I can get some fuel to come up into that. Oh, and here it comes. Come on. Something sounds like it's galloping. I'm starting to get fuel, so let's see if we got that. All right, let's do it. All right. Come on now. Nice and easy, baby. Still a little bit of an exhaust leak in the front. Nothing like it was. Still got that little bump in it. Oil's good. About half filled up here. I hear that power steering pump going. Tried to clean up all this too to see if I'm getting a better charge. Tightened up the belt, 12.77. I'd like to see higher than that. I don't think it's charging very well. Let's figure that out. Woo! Let's put some power steering fluid in there. That's what's whining, I think. Let me check it and see what we got. Oh yeah, looky there. She's a whining though. We got power steering. That'll make life a lot easier. I got to get the handles broke off on that dipstick. I don't know if there's suction in there or. Come on now. There you go. There you go. There you go. There's a little bit on the tip. We'll put a little more in there. See if we get her to quiet down. Drink her up, buddy. I got another jug, don't worry, folks. Here's the power steering. Oh, gotta get all that air out of the system. Oh, something's leaking. It's probably the power steering. Doggone, what's leaking? See what something's leaking down here, folks. What is that? Whew, that's fuel. I gotta shut this off. We got a fuel leak. We got a fuel leak. All right, master key worked. Where are we leaking fuel? Where are we leaking? There's a line somewhere. Did y'all hear that hissing sound? All right, I got to figure out where we're leaking fuel. That's no bueno. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, folks, we're back. There's actually the bottom connector on the fuel pump wasn't tight enough. That would be on me, folks. That could have been drastic. Everything looked good. Did see a nice black widow, little female looked like up under there. Burning off a lot of stuff off these exhaust manifolds, but better put a little more fluid in there. Hope that thermostat's working. I don't know how much doggone why is that smoking now? That's 87 degrees, 118. Let me put some more fluid in here. Some more antifreeze. Oh, where's my doggone funnel? Where's my antifreeze funnel? There it is. Get this filled up a little more. I'm gonna shut that off, folks. Get her filled up. She's sizzling. Probably ran her a little too much. What is that sizzling sound? I don't like the sound of that. All right, let's get some more fluid in here. That fuel leak kind of distracted me, and I only had about a gallon in here, so let's get her filled up all the way. Hopefully the thermostat's working. Pretty exciting, huh, folks? Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. All right, I'm going to get this filled up even more. Make sure we're not leaking anywhere. Let me get this filled up the rest of the way and let that cool down a little bit. And I'm also going to get the timing light hooked up here. We'll check the timing. Right now, it's sitting there and idling. Okay. All right, we're back. I went ahead and put this thing was getting hot quick. I put the fan blade back on and what we have left of a shroud. We'll take some galvanized steel and we'll make a street rust repair on that. Man, I got to paint those valve covers, but got it set at about 10 degrees before top dead center. That's where it seems to like it. Book says 6, but it likes 10. Got the idle mixture adjusted and hadn't put a vacuum gauge on it yet. I'll tinker with that later. I am going to show you guys, I'm going to start this thing up and let you see that it's flowing. And then maybe we'll put it in gear. It's got brakes. They're spongy. I don't know. We're going to have to check that out. Y'all see all these little spiders? That's making me happy. See that little spider right there in the web? There was a bunch of them in here. I think they just hatched. They're probably black widows. There's one right there just hanging in the air. All right, cranking her up. Okay. I mean, come on now. Ooh, look at that water flowing in there. Can y'all see that? That's a good sign right there. That's a really good sign. That water pump's cranking. Where is that valve, or the doggone cap I found that I fitted? That's a Moto Rad, 16 pounds. Just got it off the shelf. All right, let's check this one more time. See if we're producing any voltage. Little valve noise over here on this side. Nah, if we're producing, we're not producing much. Let's see if we can move it over here and see if it changes when I rev the engine up. No, don't like that at all. Ignition system's probably running off the battery. But hey, just for tonight's sake, because we're gonna wrap this up tomorrow afternoon, this thing is backing out. I'm gonna have to wire up a throttle linkage. We'll get that done so we can wrap up this video and get out here and see if we can, you know what I mean, burn that tire off. I'd be okay if I burnt it to the rim. Oh, I was gonna put it in gear. All right. So without dying, there it is. That's fairly promising. That's drive. Okay. All right. I'm gonna kill her. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, at least that works. Let's go and see how hot this thing really is. Make sure it's back in gear. Get the temperature gauge here. Where's that sending unit? Right down yonder somewhere. Now I don't know, 148 degrees on the intake. What do we got here on the exhaust? 269 on that, a little lower on that metal piece. Let's see what this is. I mean, come on now. $167. Let's get right here. 148. Where is that temperature sending unit? Is right down there. So it's 175. I mean, what do they want this thing to run at? It's a big block. I don't know. It's still on though. Hey, the brake light's on too. All right, let me kill her. Sounds healthy. We'll know for sure tomorrow. All right, that's off. Won't drain the battery. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. I think we got a winner here. Everything looks and sounds good. We'll get it. It's been raining. Look at that beautiful thing sitting right there. Beautiful. This one's gonna get there. All right, maybe me, maybe somebody else. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up tonight. We'll get out here tomorrow and see if we can waste one of these tires. All right, folks, the day has come. The time is here. It's time to say, let's go burn the tire off. So I got it backed out of the garage. It backed out okay to install. I'm gonna get it set up out here and make some big, huge black marks on my driveway and try to explain that to my wife. So enjoy. All right, folks, take two. Unfortunately, my sound didn't work, so you're gonna get some free video. So here's the problem. The brakes won't hold it. So I'll do as much as I can do. We're gonna do it again. Hopefully the sound comes through this time. I'm gonna back it up and do her again. I got a camera set up over yonder, pointing at this side in case this side comes loose and the other side picks up. All right, let's see what we got. Got the throttle wired. So it's all top notch, folks. All top notch. Hey, at least they're driving. The power steering works. All right, let's give her a whirl. Put her in low and hang on for the ride. Let's try it in reverse. Come on, baby. There you go, folks. hopefully that's enough for you. It ain't the best burnout in the world, and we'll do another one. But you know what? It's a big block. You know what? It's a 390. It'll rip those tires up. Plus the other back tire's got about 10 pounds of water in it. That spare I got makes the rear end jump a little bit. So hey, I hope y'all enjoyed it, this part of the video. So let me know what you want me to do with this car. You know, this YouTube channel is about us. It's not about me. Do I go ahead and sell it now and buy another car and get it running and sell them like that? Or do I need to put some time and money and effort into this, especially the roof? I'm not big on interiors. We can take all that out and seat covers and put some POR 15 on the floor, whatever we got. But you know what? I'm not going to go spend $1,500, $2,000 on a 68 Galaxy because it's different than 67 and 69, and chop the top off and bring it over. They're hard to find. Can't find a roof skin panel out there. So pretty much I'm resolved to neutralize it, coat it, foam it, and fiberglass it just to make it leak proof, and then do something with the windshield. So y'all let me know what you think down below. I'm not a mind reader. I can't use my ESPN like I do with my wife. You know, da-da-dun, my ESPN, right? But I would like to know what your thoughts are, what I should do with this. Clean it up, put some more lipstick on the pig, then sell it, because it's going to be sold. Or just get rid of it now and go buy something else. So let me know. Please subscribe, please like, please share if you'd like to, and be blessed.